Hi, I'm Miriam Spritzer with Black Film and TV. I'm covering for Wilson Morales. It's nice meeting you guys. I love the show, and I just watched the few episodes we were sent, and I'm so
Oh,
excited for this new season.
thank you.
So I wanted to know from you because your both of your characters go through kind of their own new solo journey until they come across, I'm not going to say anything, but they come across other people again. I wanted to know a little bit, how was it to approach this new phase of your characters on the show?
It was very freeing. It was very refreshing as well because season one we were together a lot and basically the whole season, and now we weren't. No, now we were. I was shooting a lot, and then someone else was on a holiday, or I was on a holiday and someone else was working. Not a long holiday, don't worry, but and so Rand, and that suits the story because Rand is trying to stay away from his friends in order to protect him. So he's trying to live a life where he doesn't get close to anyone and try to stay anonymous and to not let anyone know who he is. Not only that he's the dragon, or that he's a man who can channel, but just even the shepherd boy, no one is allowed to know Rand because he's afraid to hurt someone.
Yes, what about you, Rosamund? How do you approach this new phase? I'm not going to say her name because I'll butcher it, but
Well, Moraine,
Maureen, yes.
she has been cut off from the One Power, which is like her lifeblood, really, for the lifeblood of any Aes Sedai. It's using the One Power and channeling the elements of the universe is something that's been with her since she was a little girl, and then she's had it trained in the White Tower, and now to be cut off from it, it's a devastating loss, but one that she has to live with, and that she has to not only live with, but she has to continue to fight the fight she's been fighting, but without it. So we really see the bravery and courage of this woman, and we see all the other things that she has at her disposal, her cleverness, her ability to control people, manipulate people, her ability to think ahead, to have plan A, B, C, D, E. She has to have that little bit more in this season because she doesn't have access to the One Power, but she's lonely. She's lonely, and we really see the lengths she's prepared to go to fulfill her life's mission, and I admire her for it.
And you guys filmed this so much ahead from the moment that we're seeing it, and both of your characters know a lot more to the story than sometimes we still have access to, and the other characters as well. How do you deal with the spoilers? How do you keep the secrets from the show, whether on scene and also behind the scenes?
It's a nice place to be in. We have the books, and then we also have the scripts. We're shooting season 3 at the moment, so we know what's coming, and to not spoil anything is actually quite fun, to be honest.
We've been very well trained from complete embargo during season 1. You can't share any photographs. You mustn't show your costumes. You can't, so we've been well trained for 4 years. We barely speak to each other or anybody else outside the show. This is one of the rare opportunities for us to
drink tea.
And when you guys do see the visual effects, everything in place now that the episodes are coming out, what was the biggest surprise for you when looking at, oh, this is how our magic looks like?
Actually, this is one thing that I'm very excited about in season 2, because we've had a different relationship with our VFX team in season 2, and our VFX team have been incredibly collaborative and interested to know how it feels for each person to channel, and how it feels anything where visual effects are being added, they have communicated with our key cast. And so you will see as audience members that the channeling, that any visual effects you see are going to feel much more embedded into our world, and I'm super excited about that. I mean, that's my sort of producer hat on, but it's something I'm very proud of and excited for fans to see.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations on this show. Thank you. Hi, Daniel. How are you? I'm Miriam Spritzer with Black Film and TV, filling in for Wilson Morales. So, first of all, I'm a big fan of the show, and I will try not to butcher the character's name because English is not my first language, so I'll do my best. Now, Alan, that's how we say his name.
Yeah, you can just, good morning, by the way. It's really nice to meet you. Lan.
Lan. Okay. So Lan goes off to his own kind of journey right now. This is the first time that we're seeing him kind of figure out his own place in this whole storyline. And I wanted to know a little bit for you as the actor approaching this arc, how does that goes? Like, how are you enjoying this new phase?
I think it's always a chance to find things and to explore. I think if you watch season 1, Lan is with Rosamund's character almost always, Moiraine, and they've formed this unit and they're very used to each other. It's like a marriage. And so I would imagine it's like anything in real life. If you have a husband or a wife or a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, and you split ways after a long time, it's there's kind of a transition moment where you're like, well, who am I? What is this? Who am I without that person? How do I do things alone? Am I going to make it? So he has a lot of those moments, but it's nice to put yourself, and it's nice to put characters in situations where they're challenged. I think the only way you can build calluses and really grow is if you go through stuff. So it was a lot of fun.
And also, you're in a specific place where you have a lot of combat scenes as well as like emotionally charged scenes as well. So that must be fun to play out in shooting, because how do you even prepare for all of that?
Well, it depends on what the scene is now. When I first started 4 years ago with the show, I needed a lot more training. Now I'm quite, I wouldn't say good, but I have a good foundation. So if we have a big major scene, they'll send me the videos. I'll start practicing on my own, and then I'll meet the stunt team and we'll go through in a more precise way. But yeah, it's just, for me, I love the physical stuff so much. So that helps my emotional stuff. Some actors are different. Some actors prefer to work from the inside out, but I like to work from the outside in. So the physical helps me a lot. So I'm very grateful.
And one thing that I love about Lan is also he has a great sense of humor that
Yeah.
we're seeing much more of this season. How much could you add from that on like, because I imagine that in the first season you're still figuring it out, and then this new season, how does that change when adding those fun moments in?
Everything just gets more comfortable. You know, you get a chance to, the team, the crew, everyone. So you'll try things more often. If you feel like there's a couple jokes I might like, there was a couple jokes I might try here. Let's see if they work. Season 1, you might not try that because everyone's still trying to figure things out. But season 2, season 3, we're in now, you're just more relaxed, and that generally leads to better performance and trying more things, finding more things. So yeah, and it's just more fun overall.
And did you keep anything from the Sada costumes?
I might have. I've got some secrets.
Okay, well, we'll keep those while the show is going.
Okay. I'll let you know later.
Thank you so much. Have a great one. Thank you.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Hi, ladies. I'm Miriam Spritzer, filling in for Wilson Morales on Black Film and TV. I'm so excited to talk to you today because I love the show, and I have to say, and I didn't say this to the other cast members, your characters and your journey is part of my favorite part of the show, because you have these 2 girls who are friends, who are figuring out their own powers and their place in this crazy journey. And this season specifically, something happens that they will have to go on their own solo type of journey to figure these things out. So I wanted to know, how was it to approach this? Because you still have that strong bond, but now you also have to feel it out individually as actors, how to play those characters.
No, thank you for.
Oh, sorry, you go, Maddie.
You go. You jump in.
Thank you for saying that. I think it was a real joy to explore more of Egwene and Nynaeve's ever evolving relationship. They're very much like sisters, and I think this season, obviously, there's been massive changes to their lives, and they're obviously dealing with it in very different ways. And I think there's a really big energetic shift from season 1 and season 2, and that I feel like it constantly changes as well. So that was a real joy to play as actors. We're obviously not the same characters that they were in the beginning of season 1, and they won't be at the end of season 2 either.
And so that's the other thing, that both both girls are way less naive that they were, and they are definitely more, I don't want to say somber, but maybe like a little bit more aware of the dangers of the world. And I think especially your character, Madeleine, she has this rude awakening to life in a way. How was playing that, and also dealing with the fact that she's a little behind on the power and the magic?
Absolutely. I think, Egwene is always the optimist and idealist. And so she had a very strong sense of self going to the White Tower, and an expectation of what it might be and what it might offer her, and how she might succeed there. And obviously that's been the complete opposite of her experience. It's actually Nynaeve who has really excelled in this space, even though Nynaeve doesn't want it. And I think that's the thing. Egwene wants it so bad, but she's just not there yet, and she's just not powerful enough yet, and it's just not working for her. And I think this resentment and jealousy that's seeping in has, really fractured their relationship and driven a wedge in between them. But this time apart has been good for them in a sense, because they are having to learn to stand on their own 2 feet and find the strength within themselves. But then it also opens them up to their relationship, say, with Leandrin or with Elaine. So it's exciting to see the women, interact with these two new, well, not Leandrin, but these very influential people in their life. So it's been really wonderful to play that side to Egwene, who is a bit more somber, like you said, because it's nice to sit with our heroes in these more human moments, which maybe we didn't necessarily get to see in season 1 because they were just on the go to get back to each other.
And Zoe, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the physicality of the character, because she does go through so much in this season, even more so, I think, than the last season. And you still have to figure out how to, have this magic and put it out in the world. So I wanted to know how was that for you?
Yeah, it's exhausting for poor old Nynaeve, and I feel for her. As you said, it's not just like a massive emotional journey she goes on, it's physically as well. We kind of have touched on channeling before, Maddie and I, and we've spoken about how actually it takes a lot from you as an actor as well. You've got to like 100% commit as there's obviously nothing happening around you. But yeah, obviously the stuff that we get to work with, specifically with our characters, is kind of an actor's dream, really. We really get to dig deep into the terrors and the fears and the deep desires of these characters, and I think it's a really exciting journey that both these characters go on.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations again on the show.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Miriam Spritzer with Black Film and TV. I'm filling in for Wilson Morales, who usually does these interviews, but he's literally on a plane right now. So I'm very excited to talk to you because I love the show and I saw a few of the episodes. And I know we have 2 newcomers here with this season. So first of all, I wanted to know, how is it to join in on such an epic story that you guys could have already seen a few episodes before? You had a little advantage here than the rest of the cast, probably.
Yeah, it's an incredible experience to be jumping into something as vast and expansive as this, and there's a lot of aspects of the story, the world and the universe that is a great kind of challenge and for an actor, and it's exciting to kind of jump in and explore this world, this universe, and these characters. I feel very lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so exciting, and it's an opportunity I could only have dreamed of, and it's amazing to kind of be the new characters that are interacting with the characters that we've all met and loved from season 1. And yeah, it's amazing to be that new energy.
And Marcus, I think your character specifically, we're seeing a lot more to him this season, as he's finding out also his own powers and his own path in the middle of this crazy journey. How was that for you to approach as well?
Yeah, it was amazing, man. I think all the characters seem a lot older and a bit less naive, and I think that comes with like a more mature script and more mature kind of like scenes, and I think everything kind of went up a notch, really, like the scale, the geography of where they're going and the new cultures and characters they're interacting with. And I think Perrin, for a character that's quite introverted and a bit quiet, I think it's quite nice to see him sort of develop a bit more in season 2. And I think the characters having their separate journeys, you're allowed to sort of the audiences to get to know them a bit more, which is really nice.
So that was something I wanted to ask, because you're each going through a different path in this storyline. How much do you know of the other things that are going on? Because I know you shoot separately, different dates, different places. So are you finding out with us, the audience, or do you have a little inside intel before we do?
Well, we have the scripts and we have these pretty epic table reads of everyone together, but it's always so amazing to kind of see the episodes and you're like, oh, wow, that's what they were up to, or that's what that place looked like. So we don't kind of get to see each other's sets or different locations. So it's always amazing to kind of see how it's turned out.
And this show also has so much visual effects to it that it doesn't look the way that you guys probably shot it. So what was the biggest surprise for you in the final result when you're seeing your episodes now? What was the biggest change for you?
You know what? I credit to the team. They do a phenomenal amount of work on making sure that very little of it is we're acting opposite a green screen or a tennis ball or something. But and so much of it is done through our phenomenal makeup effects department. But I think what's really exciting watching it back is those action sequences. And like you said, sometimes you're not involved in them, and you know that people are gone away and doing an action sequence that you're not involved in, and then you get to watch that final the result of that in the episode, and there's a phenomenal amount of work in it. I think the action sequences in it are unbelievable. Yeah.
Yes. Well, and thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you, and congratulations on such a great show. Thank you.